How's everybody doing today? I hope well for this Memorial Day weekend. I'm out here on my back deck and I just wanted to check in to see what's going on with all of my followers and subscribers that I'm hoping are enjoying my channel and all the beginners are learning how to play guitar a little bit better or maybe for the first time. We're going to get to the intermediate, we're going to get to advanced, and we're just going to keep building and building and building and putting tools in your toolbox. I've been doing this for over 55 years. So I have my own unique experience in how I would go about teaching you not only how to play guitar, but also to get in a band and how to put it together. It's not that easy of a thing. How to get the right people, have the right equipment, who's picking songs, what's the singer going to do? You're going to play through a PA, amplifier. There's so much going on there. And just for your own particular tone, that's a whole nother world. Just, getting the right guitar and the right amp. But I also want to make it more of a conversation here live for anybody that not necessarily is a guitar player. You could be any musician or you have a musical story. So I think there could be some really cool things we could talk about and, go back and forth on, such as, you know, what turned you on to music in the first place? Um, you know, what did your parents play around the house that got you maybe interested when you were a kid? I know for me, I think my dad was into big band music like Benny Goodman and Glenn Miller. And I really thought the horns were so cool in those big band situations and sounds that really kind of turned me on um, to that type of music. I remember my mom, she really liked show tunes. So she was turning me on to, the different shows that were going on in the 60s, 50s, 60s that were very popular and very, very melodic. What about you? What about like when you went to school? What turned you on to music, when you're in school? I remember being given drumsticks and a little bit of a pad, and you just kind of played along, with whatever music that the teacher was putting on. I remember we were getting into classical. We would go to here in Baltimore to hear the symphony. I remember just being turned on by the Peer Gynt Suite by Greg, I believe is his name. I thought that was just so cool. I've never forgot about that, actually. In the halls of the Mountain King, I believe, Peer Gynt Suite. I mean, what was your first concert? That is a kind of a cool thing that anybody could kind of, interject on. Mine was Cream when I was 12 years old, and the Moody Blues opened up for Cream. So that was like a really cool, musical experience. I know a lot of people that are, getting up in my age in the 60s, when we first saw the Beatles, when we were like 7 or 8 years old. That was like such a catalyst, in getting, our musical the ideas of what we wanted to do or how we liked music. I mean, what was like the loudest band you ever went to hear? What was the first festival that you went to? I know I went to Jazz Fest about 10, 12 years ago. And after that, I've been doing festivals every year, whether it was Lockin', see the shirt? That's from Lockin'. Or maybe Peach Festival, a couple years. What else? See Here and Now, around Asbury Park in New Jersey. I think Mountain Jam, Bethel, New York, where Woodstock took place. That was a cool one that we went to. So it'd just be cool to talk about all of your musical experiences. Like I said, a musician or not, this is a place to kind of like, pick up on memories. What song triggers different memories for you that you still hear today, 40 years later, after you might have, first, heard the songs. I remember, because luckily I lived in an area where we had a musical venue that was like just a few miles, from our house. So we would go to a small theater that maybe held a couple thousand people tops, and hear the top bands coming through that normally you wouldn't see unless you went to like a big arena in the city. Is like if I got back to the loudest band that I ever heard, it was sitting in the front row for Black Sabbath. And we sat in the front row all the time because they didn't seem to care at this venue, Painters Mill Music Fair in Baltimore. So I remember being in the front row for Johnny Winter with their, Rick Derringer, and for Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and Sea Train, and Grin would come through with Nils Lofgren because they were from right down the road near DC. Just tremendous musical experience. It kind of shaped the type of guitar player that I've become, as far as classic rock and blues and play some jazz. And this is just going to be a forum here where we can communicate and have fun talking about these experiences, but certainly if you're learning guitar, that's going to be an added piece of this, relationship. We're going live and just talking about music, because music is just kind of like, it's just our life is revolved around music. I still, at 68, almost every weekend want to go out and hear a band here in Baltimore, whether it's a cover band or original band or, a national act. And, my bands, we play out sometimes every month, and it's just such an unbelievable experience to be, have such an involvement in music, whether you're just a music lover and a concert goer, or when you perform at any level. You can get such a high from being in front of people and people dancing and clapping and enjoying, your the talent that you've gotten to, or the stage of musicianship you've gotten to, from your practice, type of the way you practice. And so I've taken some lessons over the years. For a while, I was self-taught. Now that we've got so much stuff online, there's so much available that people can learn from. That you just have to put the time in, and you can really become an accomplished guitarist. I'd also want to talk about, writing songs. Who's out there that wants to learn how to write? I was writing songs when I was 14 and 15. When I was 16, I played in a band that me and the other guitarists had written maybe 15, 20 songs that we played out. And we got to the point where we didn't have to play covers anymore. People were even calling out some of our songs. That was just a 2-year period, 15 and 16, but it was just so exhilarating that at that stage I could play original music and people would like really enjoy it. It just was such a high, and it's kept me playing the guitar, for all these years, and still feel like I have a hit in me, and it just hasn't gotten into the right hands, to the right people yet. But you just have to keep pushing, and you keep pushing, and you never know what's going to happen in music, or never know what where you'll go with it. Whether you're a local, regional, national, international, everything's out there. And if you just stay home and play for your own satisfaction, and for your family and for your kids, that's great. Turning your kids on to music, it's just a journey that I'm glad to be part of with all of you. And the internet is so cool that it allows us to kind of hang out together. I hope you'll ask questions, regarding learning guitar, and just tell me your experience with the music. Would be cool to go back and forth and kind of know, what your musical journey has been and what you're still doing, in music, at any age, whether you're getting started or not. I'm going to sign out for now. Have a great Memorial Day. We'll check back in with a live thing. I'm getting better, I hope, all the time at these videos. I'm only into it for a very short period of time. I'll get better as time goes by. I'm just trying to give you from the heart, an experience that you can enjoy. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye.